Am I the a-hole for telling my best friend that his $500 tattoo is god-awful? I, 27M, need some perspective on a situation with my best friend, 28M. We've been friends for about 10 years, and I thought we had a pretty solid, honest friendship. We're the kind of friends who don't sugarcoat things, so if something's off, we'll tell each other. But now I'm starting to feel like maybe I overstepped in a big way, and I'm not sure if I'm the asshole in this situation. A few weeks ago, my friend started talking about getting a tattoo. He's always had a few small tattoos, but this one was going to be different. He said it was going to be a big, meaningful design, and he was saving up for it. He had been planning it for months, researching different tattoo artists in the area, and was super excited. He even told me he was willing to drop a lot of money on it, $500 to be exact. At first, I was a little surprised at the price. I know tattoos can be expensive, but $500 felt like a lot for something that I didn't fully understand the significance of. Still, it was his money, and I figured if he was really passionate about it, it was his choice. He talked about it non-stop, showing me sketches, describing the meaning behind it, and even mentioning how much he loved the artist's portfolio. I could tell he was genuinely excited about the whole process. So yesterday, the day finally came. He invited me over to see the tattoo and he seemed eager for me to give my opinion. When I walked into his apartment and saw it, I was honestly shocked. I really didn't expect it to look the way it did. The tattoo was massive, covering a good portion of his upper arm, and while I could see that the artist had put in some effort, the execution just didn't match the hype. Don't know how to explain it, but the design looked kind of sloppy, the lines were uneven in places, and the shading was patchy. Some of the colors didn't blend well together, and it honestly seemed like the kind of tattoo you'd get as a first-timer when you don't know what you're doing. I could tell that my friend was really excited to show it off, and I felt conflicted. I wanted to be supportive, but I also couldn't ignore that the tattoo just didn't look good. I tried to be subtle about it at first. I said something like, "Oh, wow, it's definitely bold," and then asked a few questions about the design, like, what's the meaning behind the colors and the shapes? But he was really proud of it and just kept saying how amazing it looked. At that point, I felt like I couldn't lie to him, so I said, "Look, man, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I have to be honest. I think it looks kinda awful. I can't believe you dropped $500 on it. I feel like the lines are uneven, and the colors don't really match the vibe you were going for." He went silent for a few seconds, and the whole atmosphere in the room changed. His face dropped, and I could see that he was hurt. He just kind of mumbled that he thought it looked good and that he liked it, but I could tell he was disappointed. I immediately regretted saying anything. I tried to backpedal and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that harsh. I guess I was expecting something different based on what you described. But if you're happy with it, that's what matters most, I guess." But it felt like the damage had already been done. Now, I'm wondering if I should have just kept my thoughts to myself or found a better way to tell him how I felt. Did I go too far in being blunt? Should I have tried to be more diplomatic? On the other hand, if I just said nothing, I would have been pretending, and that's not how I want to be with my best friend. So, am I the a-hole for telling him his $500 tattoo is god-awful, or should I have just kept my mouth shut and let him enjoy it?